things that you might have missed that were added into the dev server. Hello guys, once again it's Matt. Thank you all the members and patrons. Make sure to subscribe, and here we are in the dev again, and we're going to take a look on some things that you might have missed that were actually added. So now you can actually choose smaller matches, okay, for air battles, in the sense of the size of players, you know, the amount of players. You go to the game mode setting over here and then participate in battles with a smaller team size. You just click here, and if there is enough people that will click here and they are all in the queue, it will actually bring a smaller match. I advise you guys, if you are in the higher tiers, especially like above 11.0, 12.0, to click this. It will help you do better. Okay guys, so this is the first one. The second one is now you can actually deploy flares and chaff separately. Okay, it's kind of bugged right now, but it will be working when the actual patch release is dropped. You have to basically have some buttons over here, so switch countermeasures can be used and then fire countermeasures, or you can basically just have a button for flares or for chaff. Okay, again, it's kind of bugged. I will show to you guys right now, but it is there when the actual patch is released. Okay, so let me just take off over here. I mean, you can already see we can change it up over here. Flare and chaff. Flare release mode, if I click, it would just fire a flare. It is firing both right now, but again, I think it's just a bug right now. If you click again, it would fire just chaff. Again, it's firing both, but it's more because it's kind of bugged. Okay, if you find a button to just fire flares and stuff like that, it will still not work. Okay, so yeah, it will be working, but it is cool that they're actually adding this type of thing. Another thing that they added is some introductions to different ways of actually attacking some of the stuff. Okay, so for example, here there are multiple maps that they done this, but here's an example. Look how more spread out the ground targets are in these missions. Okay, so in RRB now, they're going to be a lot better to actually find targets and attacking them. Okay, also another thing that they're going to actually do is basically they are going to have the actual spawns of certain attackers to be in a different position. Okay, so for example, the A10, apparently it's not added yet to the dev, but it will have a closer and nearby position that they can actually attack, you know, or spawn in, sorry. So yeah, it's a lot better than I think what it was, right? At least for now. And another thing is the missile sound. So hear this. Okay, he's not firing for some reason. I'm too high. Oh my god, I'm too fast actually. The speed is too high. Jesus, there is a too high speed to fire a Maverick? I didn't know that. So yeah, the missiles have a better sound now, and they will be a little bit more realistic and a little bit more just louder basically, right? So it's not locking the other target, but I have to change the buttons again. But yeah, basically the sounds of missiles, the sonic booms, everything like that will be working a lot better. Here is an example with the, yeah, see, with the A9 as well. There will be multiple types of loudness of sounds and different sounds depending on the thrust of the missile. The higher the thrust, the better the sound will, or the higher the sound will be, right? So yeah, it's a little bit different, not by much, but still pretty cool. Tech trees themselves, you have two new little things. So for example, I want to change or make it up a ground battle. Let me grab the USSR that I have more up tier tanks over here, top tier tanks, and I want to mount a top tier lineup for ground battles. So let me just change right here, and you can go to the research tree, go to the army here, and just choose the tanks that you want and drag them out. So for example, I need an MBT, right? So I just click on it and I choose where it goes, and then it's there. I need an EA system, right? So I choose the Panzer, and I will add it right here. For example, I want the T80 BVM, and then if you choose, for example, one that it's not paid for the crew, you have to pay it, and of course it will ask you for it, but it will be there as well, right? So it helps a lot for creating these little crew slots and stuff, and the lineup that you want in a battle. For aircraft, it works for everything. For helicopters, for example, I can just drag it out, the KA-52, sorry. An aircraft, I want the SMT, not the Su-27. I can just drag it out there. So, yeah, it's a lot easier and a lot better for you to actually just check it out, this type of thing. Okay, guys? Another thing in the tech trees is that you can actually collapse the actual tech trees, as you see over here, right? So, for example, I don't play with rank 2s, rank 1s in the Soviet Union over here. So I can basically have everything collapsed, and just the ranks that I play, I can actually have. For example, I only play jet, so let me just leave it right here, and then it's a lot like cleaner to actually look at and a lot less confusing. You can do this in every single thing. I did this before, for example, and it's saved. So it will basically just save everything. As you see right here, it's saved the amount of tiers that I collapsed over here. So it makes a lot of sense actually. And it's a little thing, but very cool. Another thing that they plan to add soon would be to change, to be able to change the crew slots. I don't know if it's coming in this update, but it would be cool as well to see these two combined with the ability to just change. This crew will be here, and this crew will be here, or whatever you want to do it, right? It makes a lot of sense. Another thing that they added is a more realistic depiction of how the ground clutter is actually working. So take a look on the radar itself, okay? Before, when you just pointed the radar down, it would automatically, you can test it out on the real game right now, not on the dev server, it would automatically just fill the radar with a ground clutter, right? But now it's not like in the way of rows, you know, we have azimuths, which is basically the horizontal directions, and the rows, of course. And with that, it would basically just completely, just like from side to side, completely be ground cluttered, right? And now it will actually take its time together with the scan to actually have the clutter, as you see on the radar screen right there, right? Making it a lot more realistic and a little bit more fun, to be honest, and in the way that it works. So for example, I just change it up a little bit, and it's a little bit less than before, right? If it is actually looking upwards, it is a little bit less, and then it looks down, it's a lot more. But then it's cleaning up and putting it more, right? So it's a lot more realistic, and it takes its time to actually fill the ground clutter on the radar screen there. So very, very cool. And the last thing about radars is basically this. So we are here with the Su-27. I just found a target, and take a look on the radar screen over there. I fired the missile, and see how there is some new things appearing on the screen there. There is a circle on showing that missile that I fired, where he's going, together with a dotted line connecting to the missile dot together, you know. So basically we have three new informations over here. The circle would be the target that you are firing that missile. The little dot on the end of that line over there, it's the missile. And the line, the continuous line together with the dotted line after that is basically the direction that the missile is going, together with the energy of the missile. So see how the missile line, like that is continuous and not actually, you know, dotted, is basically going to shrink down. That is basically showing the energy that the missile has, apparently, right? Or something similar to that. And of course we have basically the choice of actually choosing targets and knowing where the targets are going to hit. So it's very, very cool, and a very easy way to actually help you understand what targets you are firing and everything like that. This even works for semi-active radar homing missiles right now. So as you see, I fired an R-2070ER, and he actually showed it there with a little bit of a different type of, you know, connection there, because it has the dotted line like below, which means that the missile is actually locked. You know, the target is actually locked, but it does, you know, help a little bit to actually just know where the missiles are going and everything like that, right? This is it, guys. There are multiple things that are smaller than this type of thing that I talked about that were added. We had the nerfs for the MiG-23, 21, Draken, Viggen, and Gripen, the F-8, and some other aircraft that I talked about it yesterday, so check it out, that video. And there are some other minor things like the fly model, the radar changes to the MiG-23, for example, that it's basically an automatic radar right now, changes to MTI and normal search automatically. So there are other minor changes that are either already covered or they're too small to actually take a look. Some other little things, like for example, they're not that little actually, but I was not really covering because it is basically you know, not my forte, right? But the Leopard 2A7, for example, was added to Italy finally. So now it's a very, very powerful MBT for the Italians over here as the Hungarian Leopard. The 2A4M was added here as a premium. There are multiple tanks and aircraft that are going to be added still. So yeah. But anyway, this was it. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe. And yeah, let me know in the comments if I missed anything. See ya, guys. Bye.